have Donna Diego's Scream. Scream was one of Venom's 5 kids cooked up by the Life Foundation in Venom Lethal Protector. And easily the loudest of the bunch, literally. She whips her Sonic hero around like she's front row at a Metallica concert. In Venom Separation Anxiety, she actually fights Venom one-on-one and holds him off, which none of her siblings can really brag about. Donna Diego's Scream later got more shine than the rest, even picked up by Anti-Venom with some demonic upgrades. She is the final girl of the Life Foundation crew. Impressive compared to her siblings, but in the grand scheme, she's comfortably C tier. Next is Agony. If the Life Foundation Symbiotes were a boy band, Agony would be the member nobody remembers. She's purple, spits acid, and that's kinda it. Her claim to fame is in Separation Anxiety, where she melts through restraints with her corrosive spit. Neat, but hardly world-shaking. Between weak story presence and a gimmick that never got pushed, Agony lives in D tier. The symbiote you would call if you need to clean rust off a bike, not fight Thor. Now we have Phage. Phage is the yellow one, which tells you Marvel was already running out of ideas. His power? Morphing his limbs into blades, axes, and pretty much whatever sharp object your uncle hangs in the garage. In Separation Anxiety, he even sliced through Spider-Man's reinforced webbing, which is no small feat considering that stuff can hold cars. But beyond that, Phage never really got to headline. His solid mid-card muscle, so C tier feels fair. Up next is Riot, the grey bruiser of the bunch, basically Hulk Hogan of goo monsters. In Separation Anxiety, he actually grapples Venom long enough to restrain him before Eddie fights back. Riot's claim to fame is starring as the villain in the 2018 Venom movie, where he was the bigger, meaner, and still lost. Riot gets points for visibility, but in the comics, he's the henchman who holds you while Carnage does the stabbing. He sits comfortably in the C tier. And now we have the Lasher. Lasher is the green symbiote, and if you're struggling to remember him, that's okay. Marvel barely did too. His stick? Whip like tendrils, which sounds cool until you realize Venom and Carnage already do that way better. In Separation Anxiety, he briefly overwhelms Spider-Man with multiple whips. But like most of his siblings, he doesn't keep the upper hand for long. Without Hybrid to back him up, Lasher is wallpaper, D tier. Speaking of Hybrid, here's where things get spicy. When the Life Foundation symbiotes fused into one host, Scott Washington, we got Hybrid, who was basically the Megazord of goo. Hybrid shows up in the Venom Along Came a Spider and fights both Venom and Spider at once, holding his ground like a champ. This is what happens when you take 5 jobbers and finally book them to win a match. Hybrid lands in B tier above his siblings,